Welcome to the WealthGenius Podcast, brought to you by the Expand Wealth Real Estate Fund. Expand your wealth by investing in apartment buildings. Go to expandwealthfund.com to book your info session. The WealthGenius Podcast, strategies for multifamily real estate investing, mindset, community, success. The WealthGenius Podcast with your host, the Godfather of Real Estate, Alfonso Cuadra, who has expansive experience in business and massive success as a real estate investor. The WealthGenius Podcast. Let's dive into today's episode.
Hello. Wow, you're here. Imagine. Podcasts, expand stages, and we just, we met, I'm trying to remember, was it January? No, February.
No, it was March, the beginning of March, I believe.
Yeah. And it feels like I know you forever. It's like, I feel like I know you for years.
I know. It's really bizarre. And it's really funny because when I was a special education teacher 7 years ago, I had a coach and she said, if you weren't a teacher and you could really be a coach, what would you be doing? And I never thought about that question, but I remember that moment. I said I'd be on a big stage in front of hundreds of people and I'd be sharing a message. And so to be here with you, knowing that I'm going to be speaking and seeing the energy and feeling the energy of everybody in the room, it's like what I dreamed of, which I never thought was possible. So
yeah. I think when we met at some point, because you were struggling with, first of all, I don't know if you might want me to share, but you were on a date. But I think it's relevant to the story because it's like...
Don't judge. I love personal development.
Yeah, and when you go on let's say you're going on a date, hey, there's this real estate thing happening, right? And, when we met, I could feel the energy right away. I'm a very intuitive person from that perspective. And you were asking really good questions, and I could feel that there was energy there. Everything was resonating with you. And you said, well, I don't know if I like real estate, but I like you, and I love WealthGenius, and I said, do you believe in manifestation? Mm-hmm. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember it clearly because I thought, how did I get in this room? You were talking numbers, and I was thinking I almost failed math. I'm not good I'm a coach, okay? I help people, but I just remember hanging on every word that you said. Mm-hmm. And I was enrolled in real estate. I knew nothing about it. I thought, I think I need to just jump into real estate. I think I need to jump ships. Yeah. But then there was something inside of me that just was like, okay, Tina, you have shiny penny syndrome right now. What are you doing? And I remember just expressing to you, I love what you're doing, but it's just not for me. I know clearly what my vision is and what my mission is. And you said, okay, tell me more. You got curious. And that's what I loved. Tell me more. Tell me more about your dreams. Tell me more about your vision. And as I shared, that's, I think, when you said, do you believe in manifestation? I think we manifested each other. Yes. And you said, we have this expert speaker track. I'm like, okay, tell me more. Now let me get curious. Tell me more about this.
Yeah. So, the idea of WealthGenius, of course, we started down the real estate road because that's the one that I know how to create wealth in, right? Mm-hmm. That's the one I started in. That's the one I believe that is the most solid. Mm-hmm. But people need all kinds of skills. And so when we were thinking of what we're going to name this thing, someone said, oh, you should name it Alfonso Cuadra's multifamily course. I'm like, I don't want my name on it. I don't want my name on it because I wanted to live longer than I'm around.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have, I wanted to have a place where everyone can plug into it and bring their best. And so then, okay, what are we going to name it? Multifamily something or real estate something? Well, I don't want to be pigeonholed to just real estate because I think, to build a community of like-minded people where everyone can bring their genius to the table, right? And together we can build wealth, we can create impact together. And when I created the plan, there's certain things that I wanted to attack. First one was real estate. That's the low-hanging fruit because that's what I've been doing for, the past, 26 years. Next one was going to be public speaking and teaching people, how to present and master the stage and, becoming an expert in their field. And I know that that's worked for me. That's how I built my portfolio.
Yeah.
So number one, the real estate knowledge, but I needed to build out this piece so I can build my real estate portfolio. That's how I scaled and I expanded. Mm-hmm. Then it was the entrepreneurship, right? So I've been in business for over 28 plus years. I've built several multi-million-dollar companies. And, the vision that I have is to help people that want to do that and build businesses. Mm-hmm. And the last one, which I shared with you, so one sitting at the very bottom is coaching mastery. I've been a coach for 16 plus years. I've coached thousands of students, thousands. I've created thousands of millionaires. And my students alone have combined transactions of over $1 billion, right? So I want to teach this. I have my own coaches. I've been training my coaches for years, but I need a leader in this one spot. I need a partner, right? And there comes Tina, there comes Tina, coach of coaches, right? And this is exactly what you do. And I'm like, oh my God, do you believe in manifestation?
Yeah. I mean, I spent the last 5 years training and developing coaches to build their coaching businesses online, offline. And I realized too that a lot of coaches, although they've been trained to be coaches, they're not trained in how to really get clear on what it is that they want to, who they want to be for the world. What is the stand that they're going to take, and really stand in that conviction? Because I really do believe that we can transform the world, but you got to be the real deal. You got to show up as a powerful version of yourself in all areas of life. And that's what I'm really passionate about. Not just building their business, but building themselves to be the person that can build a business and be that person that's going to be a leader in the world. So when I saw that in you, I was just, I want to be like you. When I grow up, I want to be like you.
Yes.
I want to make a bigger impact. I want to soar with eagles.
Mm-hmm. I love it so much. And so now we have this coaching mastery, and I'm excited. I'm so excited, and I'm hoping that the event happens before we release this podcast. But you know how things are. We never know when how long it will take. I think I actually don't know when it will be released, but I'm excited about the partnership. I'm excited about all the opportunities. And how did you get into this business in the first place, right? Like, did you have a job before? Like, did you always want to be a coach, or?
Okay, so it's actually a funny story. I was a special education teacher, and I remember going in one Monday morning and wishing it was Friday. Wow. And then that Friday, 8 a.m., I'm wishing it was 3 o'clock. And then when Thanksgiving hit, I was wishing it was Christmas. And I just had this realization, I'm wishing my life away. I'm here, but I felt like I wasn't meant to be there. I felt like I was meant for more. And so one day I was on my computer and I was on Facebook doing one of those names tests, what angel were you in a past life, or some crazy stuff. And there was a pop-up to become a health coach. And I said, what the heck is a health coach? I honestly, 7 years ago, I thought the only coach in the world was Tony Robbins. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what a coach was, but I watched this webinar. And in this webinar, I started seeing possibility. Hey, I could do something like that. So I signed up to be a coach, and my friends thought I was crazy. But in that process, I transformed myself. I was like not even recognizable. People were wondering, I released weight. I was feeling great. Everything was different in my life. And they said, what happened? I said, I found coaching. Like, what? But are you coaching people? No, not yet. I'm coaching myself. I did a personal transformation. And after that, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is what I'm meant to be doing. And I achieved a lot of success really quickly. And people were asking me, how are you doing this? How are you creating clients? And I said, I don't know. they're just coming to me. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was sharing my stories. I was sharing my transformation, my breakthroughs, and people were connecting and saying, I want that too. And so that's what I started training people to do, because they came to me saying, I want to create clients. How are you doing it? And so I started teaching them how to be vulnerable, how to share their stories, how to take on their life. And then in that process, I worked with over 1,500 people in the last 5 years and led workshops in front of hundreds of people. And just by being me, being real, being authentic, sharing the highs, the lows. And people told me, don't tell people the lows. Don't tell them when things aren't working. I said, no, I'll tell them that they didn't work when I transform it. But this is my job. My job is to take the upsets and the breakdowns, transform it, give that knowledge away. And that's how I operate my business. I'm like, okay, it's a breakdown. Fine. I'm going to have a breakthrough. I'm going to learn something. I'm going to give the knowledge away. And it's worked.
What's the thing that you love the most about coaching?
I love helping people have breakthroughs. So when people are, I say it's like your glass ceiling. They meet this level of success, 100K, $1 million, whatever it is. But I can't get past that threshold. And I say, okay, well, let's go find why. Let's get to the source. Let's find the thing under the thing. Why is it that when you hit this level of success, you can't get past it? What are the beliefs that are stopping you? And where do they come from? So I'm like people say, you're the thing under the thing lady. I'm like, yeah, because whatever the thing is, it's not the thing. There's a thing underneath it. So we go and we get the thing underneath, we get it out of the way, breakthrough. Yeah. So. And
when you do that for your students, how does that feel like? What does that feel like for you?
I don't think there's a greater feeling in the world.
I agree.
When somebody has an insight, and I believe transformation doesn't happen over time. It happens in a moment. A breakthrough happens when you see something that was in your blind spot outside of your view, and you take new actions, and you never go back to the old way. And just seeing that, I had a breakthrough conversation with a client just a couple weeks ago, and she discovered something that was hiding behind her view, and she took a new action. 2 days later, she signed on a $15,000 client. 4 days after that, she signed another $15,000 client. And I said, what was it for you? And she said, I realized that I was building somebody else's dream because I was too afraid to build my own. And when I saw that it was just a fear and it wasn't real and that I could build my own thing, I just started doing what I was doing for other people, except I was getting paid instead of paying them. And it was just a simple insight,
Yeah. When someone wants to be a coach, or let's say there's someone listening here, and by the way, we're talking about coaching in general, like personal development coaching, health coaching. Maybe you're a realtor and you want to coach your staff. I mean, you don't have to be quote unquote a coach to be coaching. Sometimes you got to coach your kids through things, right? And so what is it when someone, let's say someone has this kind of ambition, but they have that little imposter syndrome, like, how can I call myself a coach? I don't really know much, or what would you say to that person?
Well, the knowledge industry is $1 billion industry, $1 billion a day.
Yeah.
So people now are looking for people that have expertise, that have done what you want to do, and they're paying you for that.
Yeah.
So I say everybody feels like an imposter in the beginning. When I was a teacher and I came out as a coach, people are, Tina, you're a teacher. You're not a coach. It took them time and me time to catch up with.
So did you have a little bit of that imposter syndrome?
Always.
Yeah.
The imposter syndrome doesn't go away. Because as long as you're growing, you're always going to feel like a little bit of an imposter when you get to the next level.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's once you have the competence, that builds the confidence.
Yeah.
And then you get confident, and then you get comfortable. And then you're going to want to break through that comfort zone and get to the next level.
That's expansion.
It's expansion. And it's a little scary, speaking at the Expand. I've spoken on stages, virtual stages. But there's a little bit of, oh my, what if people don't get me? What if they don't resonate? What if oh my gosh, am I an imposter? I noticed that it's a thought. And it's just a thought. It's not the truth, but our brain will play tricks on us. Our brain will convince us to keep us in our comfort zone. So I always say that there's like this little version of me, this little girl version that's like telling me, no, that's not safe. You shouldn't do that. And then there's this higher version of me that says, girl, go for it. Like get on that stage and rock it. And so I get to choose every day. Who am I going to listen to? The essence, the higher version of me, or the one that's been keeping me safe my whole life. So I kind of put her in the back seat. I strap her in, in the car seat. I'm like, girl, I love you, but stay back there, don't hijack it. And so I notice it, I touch it, and I let it go. I don't fight it. I don't resist it.
Yeah. So if someone was wanting to change careers and they're listening to this or watching this, how would they self-identify as for them to understand that this is the right career for them? How would they even come to know that?
Yeah, I think the first thing you have to ask yourself is, what is my expertise? What can I give away? And there's business experience. Sometimes people have hobbies that they're really good at, and they could teach other people how to do that. And then there's people that have life experiences, divorce, dealing with kids with behavioral disorders, or, so it's like, look at what are you bringing to the table? And if you're really believing I got nothing, it's like, okay, dig a little deeper, because it's not easy to grow a coaching business. But if you have a burning desire and a passion, and you have something that lights your soul on fire, you can monetize that. But if you're looking for, well, it kind of sounds like a good idea, I don't really know what I would do. No, you got to know your why first and foremost. And anything is possible, right? So people that are thinking, I have this experience, I have this expertise, I'm really great at, okay, we'll take something simple. I'm really great at gardening, and I know a lot about plants, and I know everything about how to make, okay, great. Leverage that expertise. Find the people that also want to learn how to garden and plant and know the right, people are looking for that knowledge.
Immerse yourself.
Yourself. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there and say, hey, give value. I have value to give. I know a lot about this. Do videos. I always say, come from a place of contribution and see who comes forward. Instead of, pushing people all the time, pull them forward. Give value. And you're testing the market when you do that too, because some people that start doing videos and just sharing stuff that they think people don't even care about realize, man, a lot of people actually want to learn more. My friend, she's a clutter bug. She helps people declutter. She's been doing this for 10 years. She has 1 million YouTube followers.
Wow.
Just now by giving value, little tricks and tips and hacks. And she's monetizing now from her YouTube channel, and because she likes decluttering and she likes organizing, and she was a bit of a frantic, chaotic person. She's like, but maybe there's a different way to organize your life, and maybe you don't have to be like everybody else. Maybe there's a way for you. So it's just having a passion and a willingness to just put yourself out there. That's it.
Love it so much. So our event, Coaching Mastery. August, go on Eventbrite. You'll find us. You'll find us. It'll be me and you. We're bringing our skills together, and we're going to deliver an amazing workshop, boot camp. And coming out of that event, people are going to have a good idea of how to coach somebody else. And it could be for business, could not be, whatever they want to do. So I'm looking forward to that very much. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
What inspires you?
People that are up to big things, that have the courage to just go and play the game of life. That inspires me. I think life is a game we get to play. And I say you can play to win, you can play not to lose, or not play at all. I want to play to win. That's what inspires me.
You don't want to be a spectator in your own life.
Heck no.
Take action, play the game. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
Oh, this was so fun. Tina, and that's it. That's a wrap. That's it. Alfonso loves you. We'll see you at the top. Woo!
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Genius Podcast, presented in part by Expand Investor Conference, December 13th to 15th at Weston Harbor Castle, Toronto. Get your tickets now at wealthgenius.ai/expand. If you have a question or comment about something you heard today, reach out to the Godfather via social media or email him anytime. All that information is in the show notes. And of course, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Wealth Genius Podcast. The Wealth Genius Podcast. Until next time, see you at the top.